The countdown to German elections is in their final days, and the race is on for the chancellorship of Europe's economic powerhouse, with about 59 million people eligible to cast ballots on Sunday. But the biggest question is, will someone cross the touchline first, or will Germany end up with a frontrunner without a clear majority? Before we get into the polls, let's first take a look at the four major parties and their candidates for the chancellorship. First up is Friedrich Merz, who belongs to the party of former German Chancellor Angela Merkel, Christian Democratic Union. The second is far-right AfD leader Alice Weidel. Incumbent Chancellor Olaf Scholz is seeking re-election, leading the Social Democratic Party. The German Greens are led in this election by Robert Habeck, who is also the current Vice Chancellor of Germany. In a last televised debate before Sunday vote, Scholz and Merz were at loggerheads on the issue of immigration and relations with the far-right AfD.
Yes, you refuse to say it. Why don't you say, I won't accept the votes of the AfD to be determined if I become Chancellor?
We will not allow the AfD to accept a minority government. We will not allow ourselves to be elected. I want a stable majority in the German Bundestag for a new government, and that will not happen with the AfD, neither directly nor indirectly. No.
But despite the intensity of the high-stakes poll battle, all fun is not lost in Germany's politics. The fiery debate between Merz and Scholz did end with some light-hearted banter.
Herr Scholz, Friedrich Merz ist ja Hobbypilot. Würden Sie zu ihm ins Flugzeug steigen, sich von ihm fliegen lassen?
Ja.
Warum?
Ich nehme an, er hat den Pilotenschein zurecht.
Das Hobby von Olaf Scholz ist bekanntermaßen das Rudern. Würden Sie zu ihm ins Ruderboot einsteigen?
Ja, und da ich ganz gut schwimmen kann, auch ohne Schwimmweste.
According to the latest polls, Merz is on course to become Germany's next chancellor, but he could fall short of full majority as the polls project him to win 29% of the votes. 8 percentage points behind Merz is far-right AfD candidate Alice Weidel. Sitting German Chancellor Olaf Scholz is lagging behind with 16 votes, or 16% of the votes. The polls project 13% votes for German Greens. Well, ahead of these critical elections in Germany, citizens have a lot on their mind, including issues most important to them and fear of the far-right's rise in Germany.
For me, the decisive issues are, in order, peace, migration policy, and economic policy. And I don't think enough attention is paid to them, or if it is, it's too polemical. I also hope for more democracy, because I think there is some truth in what J.D. Vance said. Democracy in Germany has been very limited in recent years, as has freedom of expression.
Personal experiences define politics, and that is the same with me. I am the daughter of a migrant woman. I lived for a long time in poverty and suffered. I spent time in a women's refuge, and I had all of these experiences, really across a pretty traumatic and terrible spectrum. But precisely because of this, I want to offer a place where people feel heard, who otherwise don't feel heard, and that is what I want my name to stand for.
Unfortunately, I expect these elections to see a further shift to the right. I'm already very worried about the AfD's 20% share, but I also feel that the left is becoming very strong again with the Die Linke party, and that gives me hope. I don't think it will drift completely to the right, but that's something we have to deal with.
Above all, I hope that we find free and democratic majorities, and that our country remains as colorful and diverse as we know it, especially as we know from our city of Cologne here. We should take it as a sign to once again approach each other with more heart, with more openness, approaching each other with a smile, and appreciate each other more. I believe that if we do this, we will have already gained a great deal in our country.
So this coming Sunday is D-Day for Germany. Let's talk to our correspondent. Trent Mare is our correspondent in Germany. He's now joining us live from Berlin. Trent, good to see you. I am so sure the anticipation is very high in Germany. Tell us about it.
Yeah, that's right. We're certainly in the final stretch now of this campaign as Germany's 59 million voters prepare to head to the polls on Sunday. And before that polling day, you were seeing a real rush of activity now between all of the leading candidates. Big rallies planned over the next 48 hours in places like Cologne and Munich as some of those party leaders try to shore up their base, shore up their vote, and to try and, of course, win this election. It is still, in many ways, Friedrich Merz's to lose, according to the latest polls. He does have a big advantage when it comes to the numbers, but certainly the incumbent Chancellor, Olaf Scholz, is not going down without a fight. We saw some of that combative rhetoric from him last night in that TV debate with his conservative opponent. He really tried to pin Friedrich Merz in on this question of working with the far right, but the Conservative leader said once again that he would not form a coalition with the AfD. That is despite them currently placing second in the polls. So look, I think right now, as I say, as we approach Sunday, you're really going to see probably the rhetoric, the campaigning activity really try and ramp up as those parties work to secure their votes ahead of the polling day.
Trent Mare, always good to speak to you and see you. Thank you for talking to us today. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.